Hey everyone, this is another video on dividing polynomials. I have another one on if you have a question where you're given the area of a rectangle and you need to find length. This one we are going to be dividing and we're going to have a remainder left over. If you have a remainder left over, it means that it doesn't factor perfectly, that the factor you assume is a factor is not. So I'll explain that more in a little bit. We've got the question x plus 3 dividing 3x to the 4 plus 6x cubed minus 18x. The reason I left a space is because we need to have an x squared in there too somewhere. Wouldn't 0x squared be the same as having nothing there? Yep. So if ever you see there's sort of, you go from the power of 3 to the power of 1, you know that you have 0 multiplying your x squared term. And it's important just to write that down, as you will see as we get going in the example. So if x plus 3 is a perfect factor of this fourth degree polynomial, we will not be left with a remainder. We will just be left with the other factor, the other combination of x's and numbers that when multiplied by x plus 3 gives us this. If we have a remainder, we know that x plus 3 is not a factor of this number. So let's start. We need to think, what combination of numbers and x's multiplied by x, don't worry about the plus 3, just multiplied by x, will be 3x to the power of 4. Now I think if we go 3x cubed, that should work for us, because 3x cubed times x will be 3x to the power of 4. 3x cubed, we need to distribute it to our x and to our plus 3. 3 times 3 will be 9x cubed, and then you subtract. 3x to the 4 minus 3x to the 4, those cancel. 6x cubed minus 9x cubed will be negative 3x cubed. And now I bring down plus 0x squared. And I do it all over again. What combination of letters and numbers multiplied by x will give me negative 3x squared? Probably, x cubed down there, probably negative 3x squared up here, because negative 3x squared times x will be negative 3x cubed. Negative 3x squared times 3 will be negative 9x squared. So I'll subtract those. Negative 3 minus negative 3, that's the same as negative 3x cubed plus 3x cubed, so those will cancel out. And I'll have 0x squared minus negative 9x squared. That's the same as 0x squared plus 9x squared, because the negative minus negative is positive. This will be plus 9x squared. And now I can bring down by negative 18x. What multiplied by x will get me 9x squared? Probably positive 9x. 9x times x will be 9x squared. 9x times 3 will be 27x. Subtract 9x squared minus 9x, that'll just be 0. Negative 18 minus 27, you can do that on your calculator if you need to. I get that's equal to negative 45. Negative 45x. So, what do I need to multiply x by to get negative 45x? Probably negative 45. Negative 45 times x will be negative 45x. And then negative 45 times positive 3 will be negative 135. We can assume that there's another term here that is just 0, that we should have brought down to get 0, just so we have a number and a number term so that we can sort of work with those. So let's subtract Negative 45x minus 45x, that's the same as negative 45x plus 45x, so they cancel out. 0 minus negative 135 would be 0 plus 135, which would be 135. Doesn't equal 0. Our remainder is 135, so we know that x plus 3 does not correctly factor the number we started with under here. It's not a factor.